No! Kidnapper. Kidnapper, kidnapper, kidnapper. He'll be the kidnapper. I mean, this chapter is called Hostage.
As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Otherwise known as, I don't like it, Mummy. Make the bad people stop. And you see, now we're back to me not being able to pick up any more pistol ammunition because I can't hold any more. It's like there's no middle ground between all of the ammo and none of it. Or there hasn't been in... Yeah, not really. It's weird. Anyway. Let's go through here and then immediately regret it.
Did you call 911?
Yeah, but not for you, arsehole. 6-gun scribe achievement unlocked. We'll check what these achievements are. When I get to a checkpoint and feel safe. Or, you know, when I'm not playing the game, maybe. Checkpoint. Nah, maybe when I'm not actually playing the game, because it still gives me the pissing willies. Ah! I dodged that, you little bastard. Let's go and pick up that revolver ammo from earlier on. Now that I've burnt through some, shall we? Thank you, game. Okay, maybe this section is a little bit more middle groundy, but hopefully you still see what I mean about the whole ammunition thing. In light, you can hurt them. Yes, I know. If I didn't know I could hurt them in light by now, then I'd be in serious trouble, but the last time there was a warning like that, or a message like that, it meant whole kinds of face whooping was on its way to me, and I wasn't the one delivering the whooping of the face. Oh dear. Okay. Okay. Let's watch telly. Oh, it's that creepy TV show again.
Assistance for granted, unaware that they are merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion, covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, A Family Occasion. Journalist Alvin Derlis' trip to study the local customs of an insular community in Night Springs has been less than successful. Until tonight.
Well, I'm glad you changed your minds about this. Ancient customs, local mythology. My editor loves this kind of stuff.
Well, Mr. Derlith, we don't want to feel like we're on exhibition. but you have demonstrated the seriousness of your intent.
Oh, I am serious. Really, just do your thing. I'll stay out of your way and observe.
Actually, I thought you could assist us. I'm afraid we are a man short. It would provide you with an intimate perspective.
Oh
Did I
dear.
really?
Of course, Mr. Derleth.
Well, I guess that's the least I... What would I have to do?
Oh, here. Let me show you with a kiss.
What did you...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. George, you have well pleased Nixie Perka, the dweller in flesh. His body shall host his 1,000 young, and all shall be glory. Shh, darling, be calm. Shh.
So cheesy.
Alvin Derleth learned a harsh lesson. If you go looking for mythology, it may come looking for you. And such quests always bear fruit
In Night Springs.
in Night Springs.
Yeah, that's such a cheesy show, but I like the fact they've put it in. It amuses me. Alright, I've picked up all of the stuff. Wait. Manuscript page. Manuscript page.
The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below.
I see. So the last few, some of them, have been detailing what happens to the kidnapping twat monkey. Oh, it's gone. Of course, it's gone Oogie Boogie. It's a frigging arena, basically. And there is the ball. Well, shit. Wait, no, this is bad. This is bad. Get out of the bloody way. I have to find a vehicle. Cinematic! Cinematic! Pegging it like a little bitch, except I'm knackered. Except I can't because... Let's try that again, shall we? Okay, so I need to be over there and using that pretty damn quickly. Yeah, don't just stare at it, mate. Fucking move. Cinematic. Cinematic. I missed. Except it didn't do anything. Why did it not do anything? I still can't get through there. And I'm dead. Alright, again, this is probably going to take some heavy editing. Because holy crap. First, I think. Alright, so I think I'm going to have to beat this first before getting to the vehicle. I think I was trying to do things in the wrong order. Jesus. And there we go, I'm into the car. Okay, so yeah. It was trying to fight that fight in the right way.
I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine.
So essentially, you don't fight the bulldozers, you just avoid the bulldozers and you take out the minions. So where the objective said
coal
find a
mine
vehicle,
wasn't far now.
let's just listen to this. So the objective said,
Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
so the objective had said find a vehicle. To mean find a vehicle in order to beat this possessed bulldozer thing. But that wasn't the intention, and hence I was trying to get it and I was getting completely mugged by mooks. You were supposed to just take out the mooks. Ignore the bulldozer because at the end of the day it's quite cumbersome and you can just dodge out the way most of the time. And then use the vehicle to get out of the way, to get away, sorry. And of course I don't have torch. Because I'm British. They keep saying flashlight in this game.
Even during daytime, I was
it up.
being stalked. The bridge must have collapsed only moments after I'd crossed it.
Well, that's convenient. So yeah. And the game doesn't give you bad guys if it hasn't already given you weapons around or ways to kill them so far. But it's sometimes, as we found with those flares, relatively easy to miss them. Or maybe my observation ability just sucks. In fact, I know my observational ability sucks, but, you know, screw it. It's also daytime, which is good. So, is this next sequence going to be dealing... Oh, I don't know. I guess I only have to worry about the darkness in dark places. That sounds like a tautology, doesn't it? Oh wait, no, hang on. I'm going to a coal mine. Well, the sun is great outside, but it's about as useful as a condom in a convent if you're in a fecking mine. Alright, let's go for a
Little by
drive.
little, without realizing it, I'd come to believe that the story in the manuscript was coming true. The current of its narrative had taken me deeper and deeper into dark waters. Alice had been taken from me. Barry was probably in jail. I was a fugitive from the FBI. The whole world taken over by the dark presence was trying to destroy me. It all felt real, but it matched a textbook case of insanity.
Easy he sounds. I guess. Am I gonna have to rev the engine to get through that bit? Probably. Why is he running the headlights? It's broad friggin' daylight. I guess on the basis that screw you if there are any bad guys around, I'm going to wreck you with headlights. Now, is that actually a what's it? Or, oh no, it's just a bit of light coming through the trees. Let's just go exploring for a bit. Alright, so I have a question. I have a question. This is the outdoors. This is a rocky... This is not a small cliff. Why is there a red armchair with a thermos flask sitting on it here? Can someone answer me that? I'm going back to my he's going insane theory. Sorry? Who's afraid of the big bad bat? Yeah. Just what is going on? Well, let's wander through a little bit more. Screw you trees and your shade. Why can't this game take place on the Sahara Desert? Or maybe the car can only take me so far and it can't get me through the barriers and gumph. That sounds potentially likely. Although it's not really a car, it's a truck. whatever it is. And they drive on the wrong side. Feels unnatural having a driver on the left-hand side of the vehicle. Well, it does to me, but I know most countries do it. That doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right. It's getting... oh shit. It's getting progressively darker, which I don't like. Alright, let's get up here, and then I'm going to get out and wander around again. I don't mean daylight hours, I mean it's just getting darker. Like, it's... ooh, radio.
This is Pat Main, and you're listening to KBF-FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see, I encountered a big-shot G-man with an itchy trigger finger who could use a lesson in manners and a boot in the ass. Not necessarily in that order either. Now, folks, I know I'm not being very informative here, and I apologize for that. I really should just keep quiet, but I'm just so peeved right now, because some people just shouldn't be carrying badges. I'm just glad that our Sheriff Breaker was there to straighten things out. And if someone I met last night is listening, let me just say, I'm sorry if my mouth got you in trouble. I'm pretty sure you're not the bad guy here. Godspeed, son. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, on a lighter note, I'll be talking to Dr. Nelson all morning. But first, a little music.
Pat's alright. He seems like a nice chap, which means almost inevitably he's going to get consumed by darkness at some point and die. Sorry, am I being a pessimist? Ooh, new vehicle, new vehicle! I can nick lots of vehicles. Awesome! So if I wreck one, I can jump into another one. Yay! Options! Oh no, I just had to drive around that gump. Fair enough. I'm on the road to nowhere. Sorry, my singing is absolutely terrible and I know it. I know I'm also taking up all of the road. What's the betting this is an automatic? He probably can't even drive a manual car. There appears to be a high place. Let's go up the high place. I'm just enjoying the fact that I don't immediately have to worry about someone trying to bury a hatchet in. After the last few bits of frantic, you are... oh, that was just me reaching a checkpoint. Frantic, you are gonna die-ness. Portaloo. And are there going to be any more binoculars up here? I can set up my binocular telescopes for additional view range. Oh no, I can just listen to Pat on the radio more. Cool, let's do that.
Welcome back to KBF-FM. Hope you enjoyed that tune. Now, Doc, you were talking about life and finding that special someone, that soulmate.
Well, you were talking about that. I was saying I don't buy it.
Well, see, to me that's strange, because I always pegged you as a hopeless romantic.
You got me there, Pat. But I think love's where you look for it. And you need to do a lot of looking, sure. But the idea that there's that one special person out there for you, and if you miss that chance, it's gone forever and you're forever incomplete. I mean, isn't that depressing? Or heck, childish even? There's plenty of fish in the sea.
And apparently a fisherman has a fishing analogy for everything, but what you're saying, isn't that a little harsh?
Well, no. What I am saying is that your potential for finding that connection isn't limited to what's essentially a chance encounter. How is that harsh?
Yeah, well, I guess that's a nice thought, but let me say something personal here.
Okay.
Now, well, I don't disagree with you exactly, but I can't really fit that together with what I feel, what I felt for someone, because she was the one. She was. And I let her drift away from me. Maybe I didn't put in the work, I don't know, but, well, since then, and it was a long time ago, but since then there hasn't been anyone, not like her. And I'm not saying I dwell on her or haven't moved on. I like my life. I'm not living in the past, but I do miss the way she completed me.
You can't argue with the heart, Pat.
I'm sorry, folks. I had kind of a scary experience last night, and let's just say it's shaken a few things loose.
Yeah, I like Pat. I think the game wants you to like Pat, which is what makes me think that he's going to be viciously torn away from you in an orgy of bloodshed, possibly using your own gun, but who knows? Maybe, as I say, I'm just being a cynic. Then again, maybe so are the game devs. Right, so that's basically where I'm going. There I meet the douchebag who kidnapped my wife, and sounds good. Oh, no, wait, wrong game. Sorry. Well, let's get back in my pimpmobile and do some more driving. Oh yeah, I'm getting in the wrong side again, aren't I? Whoops-a-daisy. What can I say? I hold a driver's license, and getting in that side just feels wrong. If you're the driver. I mean, clearly if you're the passenger, I mean, you get him, you know, a side with a seat and not a steering. Alright, let's go into this inside bit where there isn't sunlight, because that seems like a good plan. Anything in here that's interesting? But I mean, here's perhaps a slightly depressing thought for you. I just really don't see Alan's wife surviving this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's alive and well, but I don't know. Meanwhile, Loki is playing Pokemon and going up against a gym leader called Wake. Oh dear. Manuscript page!
For Mott, spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw. Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
So is that the name of the kidnapper then? Mott. Presumably. And he's been basically, well, I don't know, has he been employed by someone external? And we don't know if that's a first name or a second name. And you get motel? I don't know. Technically mottle, but that doesn't work so well with a pun. Right, let's go driving again. This is just like a road trip. Nothing scary at all. And I'm going to get in the correct side this time. In we go! Well, we did come here kind of on holiday, let's be honest, so let's have a holiday. Even if it's just me, myself, and a car. A series of stolen cars. Yay, coal mine. Visitor parking's over here. Well, I should probably go to the visitor parking then.
I was early. I was supposed to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building. The coal mine was quiet. It was a museum now.
Do I have a manuscript to give him? Do I fuck? Hey, thermos flask. Maybe I could just fill the kidnapper full of coffee and see what happens. Maybe I could just fill myself full of coffee. Maybe if I do that, I will turn into Kratos, who I mentioned earlier on, and rip the kidnapper's face off. Seems like a plan. While there were some earlier residents in the area, the true genesis of the town of Bright Falls came with the founding of the Bright Falls Mining Company and the opening of the Bright Falls coal mine in 1878. Although the work was hard and dangerous, many immigrants, Germans, Poles, Italians, Finns and Swedes, among others, worked the mines. So it occurs to me, considering the town of Bright Falls is not huge, there's an awful lot of crap kind of celebrating itself. Hey, I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate your achievements, but there just seems a lot of it for what is quite a small town. Or it seems a small town to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Nightingale
it's...
gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good.
Ooh, foreboding. Museum entrance. Ooh, read. No, read. In 1970, a volcanic eruption blew Cauldron Lake, while relatively minor, below Cauldron Lake, while relatively minor, caused most of the deep mining tunnels to collapse or flood. 32 miners lost their lives in the calamity, and all mining around Bright Falls came to a final stop. Now, many of the remaining buildings are protected as historical landmarks. So which way is it do I think I'm supposed to go? I think it's right, which is why I'm trying not to go that way. Yeah. Ugh. But that's inside.